Cheers.
Cheers.
To the LS still being the greatest motor in the world.
Sorry.
I got a package. I'm opening this one now because I don't know what this is, but I got some good ones later to show you guys. Oh, this is a lot different than what they sent me before. Some wipes, some air fresheners, waterless wax. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. Today, we are pulling the motor on the S13. My camera. We got a little bit of a head start pretty late last night, actually. Started off by disconnecting the battery, draining the fluids, taking off the intake, removing the radiator. We pulled the hoses for that, as well as cut the exhaust. So for the most part, we're honestly just pulling things off as we see them necessary to take off to pull the motor. Next, probably everything's been drained aside from the power steering fluid. Probably drain that, remove any hoses that are going to prevent the motor from being pulled out, the charcoal collector canister that's in the front of the bay here, and yeah, and we're kind of honestly just pulling things out. Nothing is really going to be reused anyways, so
Unless you want to buy it, in that case it's perfectly good.
unless you guys want to buy it, yeah, otherwise no miles, never tracked, all 4 cylinders run great. I'm personally getting a little tired. We got here a little late. We're working through the night. It's now the AM hours, so all that we have left to do, knock on wood, is to make sure the wiring harness is completely disconnected, to take off the shift knob in the interior of the car because that would just suck trying to pull it, and then disconnect the drive shaft as well as remove the motor and trans mounts. But alright, let's get started. Hey Butters,
Yo.
do you know what time it is?
Taco time?
No, it's PTT time.
Oh, PTT time!
There we go. Sean's going to go ahead and start moving the drive shaft, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove, I think this is the UGR, I think it's for like evap and whatnot, emissions, etc. And then I'm gonna remove the power steering, the lines, and kind of just clear up anything along here that is left to pull out the motor. I forgot these are 2-piece. Actually, I knew they were 2-piece.
I was literally fell on my face.
Hey guys, comment below if you know like the purpose behind engineering a 2-piece drive shaft. I'm curious. Alright, so something I'm struggling with, and we're trying to see if Sean has strong enough fingers to get connection right here. You got it?
Yeah.
Money. You sad you're not at Coachella?
No, this is way better.
Cool. Hashtag no cello.
No chill.
You want to start working on that? I'll work on something else?
You just pointed at a motor. You want to start working on
Literally everything. Do you just want to start working on that?
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm going to kind of look over here and see what else needs to be disconnected.
Motor mount.
Motor mount. Considering that I think this is the first K I've ever worked on, that is the worst placement for an oil filter possible.
What? I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it is.
Where would you?
Just imagine oil dripping everywhere trying to pull it off if it's not like drained.
Oh, no. There's nothing dripping. This thing burns enough oil that when you pull it off.
It's just dry.
Yeah,
Starting to sound like a Subaru.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Hey, this says ring-one failure too. Hey. I think this is just like proof why the LS is the greatest motor ever made, because the oil filter is directly under the car, right next to the oil pan.
Spoil all the fun. You gotta have that content, you know? We gotta have shit break, not just like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm done with my build and I'll never.
Hang on. So what you're trying to tell me is you got an RB26 because you want shit to break.
No, that shit's bulletproof.
Okay.
Fully decked from the factory, ready to fucking go. Let's go. You gotta roll over like gently and we'll just like.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the LS still being the greatest motor in the world.
Sorry.
Check it.
Those muscles.
As you guys can see now, a lot more has been removed. So it looks like the only two major lines that are left, looks like the line coming from the condenser and then the line to the compressor. Just by eyeballing it, I think that's it. Looking like we can pull this pretty soon here. Pull the motor.
Pull the motor?
Andy is going to use the Sawzall to take off that smog line that runs under the steering column.
Wait, I needed that. What? It's gone now.
Check it.
Pull the motor.
Pull the motor?
Pull the motor.
Pull the motor.
So we're having a little bit of a conflict. You guys remember Andy cut the smog line, but the smog line is stuck right below the steering column. So we can't really lift it over. I think we're just gonna try and just pull the motor up and then like pry it out of place. Because there is a little bit of play here.
Going out of the way?
Yeah.
That fix it?
There we go.
Bring it up.
Motor is almost out. We are trying to get the headers to clear the steering column right now. First it was the smog line, now it's the headers. It's a tight fit. At the same time, we're trying to make sure that the trans isn't hitting the trans tunnel. But almost there, getting pretty tired. It's been a long few days just with working on the cars in general, so yeah. Sean says he drained the trans fluid, and maybe he did, but there's a lot dripping on the floor right now. You look like a dead possum on the ground. We put a couple of those little diaper bags down to absorb it. Some more is definitely draining into the pan, but a mess has been made. Motor's almost out though, so that's a plus. About ready to call it a night.
Check it.
Only made a little mess. Just a little one.
The motor's out! The motor's out! I'm so tired. And that is pulling the K out of the S13. Step 1 of the RB26 S13 build. Didn't run into too many complications trying to pull the motor out. The biggest thing was clearance on the smog line that Andy cut for us, and that was kind of getting in the way of the steering column. Aside from that, we just kind of made a mess with the fluids. But motor is out, everything's clean, back together, and yeah, now I have 2 cars without motors in them. But I'm really excited to get them going. I have not decided yet if we're going to paint the bay. Comment below, let me know what you think. Right now, we're on the fence whether we should just, I think we're gonna pressure wash it and see how it looks first. I'm super excited, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm going to close out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love the support. I love you, Ecrew. Comment, be active. We're creating a family here. That was good. I guess I could have just said my bye, but now I made it weird, but okay, bye.